Good evening. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well and hope things are going for you. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of channels. One is Crayon Scribble for providing me old footage of talk shows. The next footage I want to shout out is a few subscribers and Mr. Beef Trace Beta, and because I'm going to be kind of sampling a little bit, and it's going to be off this one person's channel, and this was something recently off of Intrigue Dynamite that I'm going to put the story together. You know, for the last couple, before you probably have seen on my past videos and other videos about passport bros, and that's the latest thing. And it was women from overseas. Well, you know, women, and then American women, black, white, and everything in between in this country started getting, they start saying that the men is going over. But before it was the passport bros, you had women, American women, going against American women, black and white. And then you have people, the families would come forward and be objective about it. And it's like, Crayon Scribble got about, got samples of the old shows. So I'm just going to show a little bit of it because for copyright reasons, but I just wanted to show you. But before I get to his video, I'm going to kick this one video, this dispute between this one guy and Oshay Duke Jackson on supporting this one woman. That's, you've probably been seeing her pop up on the YouTube feed in the passport bro black manufacturer, and she's a white female. And so this is, you got some people who are African American and Afro British, whatever, still support this woman. So I'm gonna get to the story, and then after I get done, then I'll finish up with the rest of my commentary. But I'll just go through video after video. So the first video is Intrigue Dynamite.
When I found out I had metastatic prostate cancer,
and
our bond gave me strength. So there's a content creator by the name of justPearlyThings who runs a YouTube channel that skyrocketed to success in a short period of time. Many have attributed that success to the notion that she built her platform by utilizing the Kevin Samuels blueprint coupled with the Fresh and Fit podcast theme. She has topics that are mainly focused around the modern woman and relationship matters, typically with a panel of guests, multicultural but mainly black. Well, Pearl has recently been put on a hot seat via YouTube for incendiary comments made about slavery being over-exaggerated in cinematic depictions such as that in the movie Roots. Other content creators such as Jason Black and Oshay Duke Jackson called her out, even going so far as to call her the R word that I have to be careful with saying lest my channel be relegated to the dark realm of the shadow band again. So these critiques prompted Pearl to make an apology video for those comments, and after making the apology video, there were content creators that took issue with her apology. Many viewed it as capitulation or crumbling under the pressure of the reproach aimed her way by many of those who viewed her comments as distasteful. One of those who took issue was a content creator that runs a platform called The Black Conservative Perspective. And after he addressed his contention with her choice to apologize, he attracted the attention of none other than social media pit bull, Oshay Duke Jackson. Why pit bull? Because like a pit bull, Oshay Duke Jackson has a way of grabbing on and not letting go. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, especially when a point needs to be driven in order to combat problematic dissenting narratives. Now, to the sentiment of the Black Conservative Perspective's take, we'll just call him BCP for short. I can understand the contention with apology towards in cancel culture, as I have also voiced my dislike of perpetual demands of contrition as we witness with Kyrie Irving and cancellations such as what we witnessed with Kevin Hart, who after apologizing against apologizing. I think that it is integral to growth, especially when the offended party has a genuine claim that was brought about by carelessness on the offender's part. I don't think everything should be apologized for, but certainly efforts should be made to clear the air. And no one is above criticism, nor is anyone too holy to simply say, "My bad." The problem, I believe, is when either party is too myopic to engage in or digest the points of contention that the other side has to say. So Oshay went on to apparently label BCP as a sellout for his commentary, and BCP pushed back with a response video. Now, I don't know either of these two gentlemen, but as an observer, I did find talking points that can be interpreted as dismissive to many of the valid claims that even Pearl admitted to being problematic, specifically the uneducated comments pertaining to the horrors of slavery. But whether Pearl had a controversial character on her show and whether they were comments made in poor taste is not my concern. Because personally, I'm not offended that easily. What the focus will be on is the manner of address that can take place between two black spokespersons that can easily be construed as so-called selling out. Now, I am of the belief that a messenger is merely a messenger, and the way that a message is received has no bearing on the messenger. You can argue with the delivery, but how you take it is more of a personal matter, so long as the message was delivered. Now, on the other hand, a teacher is a different matter. A teacher must be vested in the direction that whatever it is that they are trying to relay is understood in the manner that it was intended to be received and understood. And if there are any discrepancies or mistakings, the teacher must be able to revise the lesson or the message in a way that ambiguity is mitigated so that the receiver receives what is being given accurately and with full understanding. So if the intention of either of these gentlemen is to merely be a messenger, I can understand the unwillingness to budge in either one's direction. But if the goal is to be understood, then it would do us all well to put the ego aside and just listen with the spirit of receptivity and understanding. Understanding that the ambiguity that often accompanies an unrevised speech that is spoken from the top of the head can easily sway in one direction versus the other. With that being said, it is worth noting before we proceed that in this regard, all that I am is a messenger.
I bet you might see.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you. Of course you know where we're going. That's
All that I am is a messenger. This will be a subject matter done in two parts. This will be an exercise to show how one mind can argue objectively from the perspective of both Oshay Duke Jackson's point of view, as well as the black conservative perspective's point of view. This is part one, which will be done from the perspective of Oshay Duke Jackson, as to how the commentary from his opposition can be interpreted as selling out. If you are too sensitive to stand it until the end, and you would rather wait for part two, which are the supporting arguments for the black conservative perspective, that's your prerogative. But without further ado,
And she's clearly doing all the things that folks want, right? From the white man or for white people, right? You know, how black people give them chances, okay, platform their voices. I mean, again, she is platforming black voices, literally, okay, platforming black voices, and they're benefiting from it. They're getting paid, they're employed, they probably have good jobs. You know, she's making money too. Again, there should be no complaints here.
this statement carries the level of ambiguity that can easily be interpreted in the same vein as this.
Keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
So in other words, intrinsic value purchases silence. Historical inaccuracies pertaining to your ancestors promulgated on an international platform should be met with no complaints because you stand to gain. It's textbook selling out. Specifically because in order to sell out, it means that something is being bought out. In this case, your uncontested compliance for the prospect of a paycheck. But then, acknowledging that it's not really the ones who stand to gain that are making the complaints, suggests that those who are not affiliated with the platform in question, but yet were on the receiving end of the historical misinformation, should be silent, because because her employees are black. And if they care about black people, they should not attempt to disturb the peace so that these black people who are employed will not lose their jobs. That's a logical fallacy called argumentum ad misericordiam. Again, I'm just the messenger pointing out the ambiguity that can lead to the interpretation of the alternative when speakers utilize more passion than tact.
So, I made a video defending it. Oshay Duke Jackson took issue with me defending it, okay? Apparently, I'm not a part of the black community because I don't have the right opinions, and he believes that I am a sellout, okay? He believes I'm a sellout because apparently I have the wrong opinions, right? So again, we've heard this before, okay? When it comes to black people who think differently than the rest of black folks, especially when it comes to this issue of race, you are a sellout, okay? Because you're not allowed to have your own opinions without selling out black folks. Amazing stuff. So, I actually want to respond to another video that he dropped. This video is all about me, right? And my response to justPearlyThings apology. And after this, I'm not responding to this anymore, right? I'm done with this because, quite honestly, I'm going to show you guys this video. This is beneath me, okay? I'm being real with you guys. This is not the level of conversation I want to engage in with this person because, quite honestly, I'm not necessarily sure if he can keep up, okay? So, I'm going to show you guys why here doing this video response. But I just want to tell you guys beforehand, hopefully this is the last response. But I do want to address some of his criticisms, okay, of the things I was saying. And then, again, that's going to be it for me when it comes to this conversation here about justPearlyThings. Quite honestly, I don't have a dog in this fight. It is what it is. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Racism and platforming race.
All right, guys. So, number one, and just listening to that, right? I'm not going to deal with the whole video because I think, the brother is very, very disingenuous, and you'll find out. The first thing he said that is Nick Fuentes is allegedly a white supremacist.
Well, he is allegedly a white supremacist, okay? Because the reason why I say allegedly is because even though the media says he's a white supremacist, he has personally himself denied the label of white supremacist, okay? So using the word alleged there is appropriate, and I also use allegedly all the time. Most of the time, it's just sarcasm, right? It's comedic relief. That's why I do it. I just find the word to be funny, right, and how it's used. But in this case right here, the word alleged, when describing Nick Fuentes as a white supremacist, is actually correct because he's denied that label. That label.
And that, he's has an affiliation to Kanye West, so therefore he likes black people, and it's sad that he doesn't get to say his political views. So he uses the word alleged white supremacist. I want to play a clip of Nick Fuentes admitting he is a racist. Play that clip.
I know we're select to racist.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes you are. Yes you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist.
I know.
But listen, it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So, hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Oh no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italian,
Tell an
we're
Italian
big-
guy
we're
about
big
your
lovers.
affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
All right, so this guy,
Okay, so his rebuttal to my calling of Nick Fuentes a white, alleged white supremacist is him playing a clip of Nick Fuentes joking about being a little racist.
This part. He didn't say that he was joking. You said that he was joking. He stood by his statement and said, "It is what it is."
Hey, it is what it is.
But you gave him the benefit of the doubt. Even after he admitted to being the R word, you try to help him save face by using the word alleged, even after he removed all doubt by his own admission. But yet when given the opportunity to make your assessment of a black man that has not provided you with any verbatim evidence that he is even a little bit of the R word, you did not refer to him as alleged. You referred to him as definitively self-admitted.
Right? Racism so bad. This guy right here is basically a self-admitted racist. Okay? This guy said, hey, I wouldn't collab with white people. Right? I wouldn't allow white people on my platform. I don't want to work with whites. I don't think he believes in interracial dating either. Okay? So he doesn't believe in interracial dating like Nick Fuentes. He doesn't want to work with white people, which is unlike Nick Fuentes, who actually showed that he's willing to work with black folks. But yet again, this guy wants to cry racism. Racism is so bad, except when he does it. Again, it's only bad when the white man does it. Okay? You see how this works? See, again, this is why I really don't want to engage in this back and forth with this guy, because I just don't know if it's worth the intellectual capacity here.
Though you have a definitively self-admitted one in Nick Fuentes, you give him the benefit of the doubt as to having been joking. But how can you say that Oshay is doing what Nick is doing, yet Nick is an alleged one, and Oshay is most certainly one? Can you see the bias that is bordering on the pander?
In my observation, I mean, I think he's probably very entertaining to his audience, but definitely not a very bright guy. I mean,
hey, maybe I'm not a very bright guy, right? I never claimed to be the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? But I'm just saying, based off this response right here from Mr. Oshay, I'm not sure if that's the insult I would have went with in this video.
I mean, I don't have an issue with him, but yeah, obviously this guy is just, it sounds like he's very, very, he sounds like he's in a big mood to pander, right?
I'm pandering because I had the wrong opinions, right? You don't believe what I believe, okay? Or, you have opinions that I feel like black people shouldn't have, so therefore you have to be pandering.
I got something for this one.
That's not why. It's because of the things that I have laid out. And as we continue, I will continue to lay out. Now, whether or not you are pandering is between you and your maker. I can only highlight the inconsistency, ambiguity, or unwell thought out definitive statements that can mislead.
Again, it's funny because no other race of people does this, okay? Where they tell, hey, you can't have this opinion, right? You're less white if you have this opinion. You're not a true white. I mean, even the white liberals, I never see their whiteness stripped away when they're out here preaching on the altar, right? I never see people say, you're not a real white.
Statements such as that one, that indict black people as having a behavior that white people do not have. You absolve every so-called community just so that you can skewer the so-called black community with your critique that they are intolerant of dissenting ideas and behaviors, as you tacitly insult the others, despite the evidence that would render your lambasting as prevarication or ignorance brought about by myopia at best. In other words, you don't know what you're talking about.
Watch this. Yeah, he's describing this next video I'm about to show you after this video.
In other words, you don't know what you're talking about.
Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. What pride? What?
I wanted to say after dark, man. Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel because you could get hospitalized by some guys that want to beat your ass.
I've had several old men come out here, look out the window and tell me, says, you better go tell that nigger to get out of here and shit. About 10 minutes, I'm gonna be back. You better be fucking gone.
Okay, come back.
What about the white line? We matter too. You're a white man. Crazy.
You're a dumbass motherfucker. You dumb shit.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
But I mean, it's not gonna take. So the guy says, well, she has black employees, and she has a black boyfriend, so obviously she isn't racist. Well, African Americans have 15% white DNA on average. Can you not say that whites having sex with blacks, they can't be racist? Of course you can have sex with somebody and be racist. It's very possible. It happens all the time.
And I'm about to show you.
Man, my respect for Oshay is really keeping me from calling him names. Okay, I'm not gonna call him any names. Okay, I'm not gonna disrespect him. Okay, I respect my elders, right? Those black men have come before me. Okay, but come on, man. I mean, you seriously are not comparing a casual sexual relationship to an actual real relationship, right? This is what these people are trying to convince folks. Okay, that somehow, some way, you can be a flaming racist. Okay, but you can literally
Yeah, you can.
spend all your time around black folks. You're friends with black folks.
I'm gonna show you.
You have a relationship with a black man, but somehow you're a racist.
Yeah.
I don't know how many racists can actually be in a relationship. I'm not talking about casual sex. Okay, again, I'm not
really?
sure if Oshay
really?
can really understand this. Can he comprehend this? Okay, but I'm gonna try to make it clear for him and simple. Right? There's a difference between being in a relationship and having casual sex. Yes, you can be racist and have, casual sex with somebody, that you're racist against. Okay? That's totally possible. But I don't think you can be racist and quite literally be in a relationship, a real relationship.
Really?
With somebody.
Really?
Well, it's a good thing that Mr. BCP is at least willing to show some respect to those who came before him.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I have come before both of these gentlemen. Not that that adds any more merit to my message, but what came before all of us is history. And a little bit of reading just might inform the naysayer as to the relationship between Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. So the notion, by his logic, would be that a man cannot have romantic feelings for a slave and own slaves at the same time.
Right.
And love one and have a supremacist outlook of the white variety while practicing racism.
Exactly.
Which is an uninformed postulation.
Exactly.
Abraham Lincoln had a black buddy named Frederick Douglass. At the same time, Abraham Lincoln also believed in whites reigning supreme. At the same time, Abraham Lincoln didn't mind slavery and never would have abolished it if the Confederates would have joined the Union without contestation.
Exactly.
So you have the flag as a backdrop, but don't know the history within that very nation that serves as a rebuttal to your own arguments. But that's it for now. You can support both of these men, Oshay Duke Jackson and the black conservative perspective.
And so, so the black conservative be that that's what he really believed, right? I'm gonna give you two short snippets from Crayon Scribble. This one.
The comment. Now, Candace was here to see if her ex-boyfriend Andrew was the father of her biracial child. Candace said that Andrew admitted he's a racist and would never claim a biracial child. Take a look at this.
I'm here because I had a biracial child with a man who, very, very, just what I'll say, he's a racist. And it's strange because he's white and...
Wait a minute. You have a biracial child with a man who is a racist.
Yes.
So how did you even conceive a child?
Yes, that's my question. When I first
Tell
met
this
him,
to the black conservative.
he just seemed like a regular guy, and we talked, and when we, a couple days into talking to him, he told me about he never would have been, a couple weeks ago, he never would even talk to me, and I was just like, really? And he was like, yeah, I used to be racist, and he was like, but you just seem like so open and really, you just seem like a person I could just talk to, and I was like, really? So things went on from there, and we started a relationship.
And then why did you stop living together? Why did
he started to get kind of violent, and he started to scare me. He wasn't really violent towards me, he was violent towards Tim.
Because Tim, your boyfriend, the two of you have a child together.
Yes, we have a child.
And he was coming over every day for visitation.
Yeah,
and it was always a confrontation of some sort.
Yeah, because I always promised him he can always come over every day and see his child, so that he wouldn't think that I would ever take her away from him.
Okay.
So, we always made that agreement. So, and Andrew had a problem with that. Tim would come over and he'd be like, you don't need to talk to him. He doesn't need to be here. And if they went through the courts, it wouldn't be this way. And when I was like, well, we're not going through the courts, and this is how it is.
So that became too much to handle, and you decided to move out.
Yes.
Once you moved out, though, all of a sudden you go and take
Mr. Black Conservative, look at this
and
one.
what happens? Bingo, bango.
I'm pregnant. Well, when I had her, I called, and Andrew called me back later and he told me, okay, well, baby's born, I wanted a paternity test. And then they were still living in Vegas then. And then all of a sudden they moved to Springfield, Missouri. And I had no idea.
Is he going back to being racist?
I guess so. He said he's kind of hanging out with his old friends again, back into his old ways.
Well, we then met Andrew, and here's what he had to say. Well, how do you view?
I view kind of like the opposite of Malcolm X. He viewed in separatism of the races. So I guess I'm just not saying I'm like Malcolm X, but I just view we should be separate.
Well, I mean, I look, wait a second. I will tell you, at least in this day and age, I am sorry. I respect the person who is willing to put their views out there in public. I mean, you're willing to sit here and talk about it. I respect that. If that's how you feel, but dude, you got to hear me for a second, because if you were a separatist, you were a separatist before you met her, and all of a sudden that separatism came away when you separated your pants from your body.
Hello.
I had originally, no one in my family, some of my other friends did not appreciate it or respect the fact that I was the way I was. So
wait, respect the fact that you were the way you were, what, before?
Before, yes.
You met her?
Yes.
So your friends and some members of your family didn't agree with you being a separatist?
Exactly. And I had tried changing, mainly for them.
Changing to stop those views?
Yes. And you cannot stop who and what you are. You can't stop what you feel.
Well, I'm not sure unless you, because
you can try and hide it, but doesn't, I am what I am.
You are willing to die for those beliefs?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Wait a second. Well, dude, but see, now you throw me with this, Andrew. Because if you believe so strongly, you would have never conceived this child.
Thank you.
Ever since finding out she was pregnant and our split up, and
you can't make this up.
Through, my convictions and my beliefs have.
You can't make this up, man. Damn.
Okay. But could Candace's husband Tim possibly be the father of a biracial child? Take a look at this.
If it's Andrew's child, I just want him to sign over the rights.
Why?
Because he hasn't been in this child's life for a whole year. He hasn't called once. He hasn't stopped by. He hasn't sent something. He hasn't said nothing. Every time Candace calls him, she says she wants nothing to do with this child. He wants nothing to do with this child.
Well, you know what? If that's your view and you want nothing to do with this child, then let's just have something to do with his paycheck.
Montel, I don't want...
It's not you. I'm saying it's not for you and it's not for her to utilize to raise your child. But eventually, this little baby right there, who is a biracial child with a racist, possibly with a racist father, is going to have to deal with this world without the two of you.
Montel,
and wouldn't it be a great thing for the next 18 years, he put about, who knows, $120,000 into a bank account that she can use to go to college anywhere she wants?
I don't care about that, Montel. I'm doing it, okay?
But
for a whole year now, I work. She doesn't work. She stays at home with the children.
Doesn't matter.
I work. I bought all the diapers. I buy the food. I do everything. I put the roof over their head.
Your stepdad.
He hasn't done nothing,
Right.
okay?
You are a stepdad.
If the DNA test says he's the father by DNA, yes, but he is not a father. I am a father.
Oh, you are
He
a
is given
stepdad.
over the rights. The reason why he is given over the rights is because I'm not going to have in the back of my mind if he ever goes to visit her or something, he's going to do something to her because of because he believes in what he believes in.
Here's the interesting thing, though. I believe this might be an excuse. He's 21. I'm sorry. I don't think, honestly, truthfully, the majority of people who have your view are people your age and younger. And you ain't been on this planet long enough to hate anybody. That's the way I feel. And eventually, the one thing about it, you ought to look at it another way, too, Tim. If there was one way in the world that we could change the mind of one hater, you can't do it, she can't do it, but I'll bet you hard money that baby could. And of course, the results ran. When it comes to Tim, Shantae, and Candace, or Andrew, Shantae, and Candace, these are the only two people you were with.
Yes.
So it has to be one of their children.
Yes.
Let's start with Andrew. And you were with Andrew at the time that you think you could see.
Yes. Multiple times. I mean, like every day. So I'm leaning towards Andrew.
Now we're in a quandary. Because here's what the quandary is. Goes back to the discussion that we were having earlier today. There is no doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts, that you, Andrew, are the father of this child. now that puts the three of you in this odd position. You now have to go out to all of your friends and supporters and justify why it is that you had a relationship with an African American woman, and you now have a child that no matter how you
Wow.
try to write it or look at it, you have a biracial child. We'll give you an update when we come back. We'll be back right after that.
So, black conservative, explain that one. Explain that one, black conservative. And guess what? What's this one? Oh, Jesus. This is, people, they make this sound so stupid. So, you know, it is really, it's crazy. But you would think that was, here's another one from this. I'm going to show, here's a 5-minute clip of this. This is,
You might not have, see, this is where the racism gets all messed up, because people use your own racial. I don't like this. Some of the most conflicted people I've met in the process of doing these shows are people who've abandoned their own race. Our first guest is Renee. Welcome, Renee, to the show, you guys. Yeah.
Watch this one.
Now, Renee is here to confront her friend Melinda, who has some real harsh feelings about black people, right? Mm-hmm. Your friend actually denies part of her heritage, doesn't she?
Yeah, she tells everybody that she's white and Indian. But when you look at her and you see her, you know she's black.
Uh-huh.
She thinks black people are lazy, and that they all sell drugs, and they stand on the street corners, and that they rape, and all this because of things that's happened to her. But not all people are like that. Not all black people are. She just hangs out with the wrong ones, is what's happened. She's got around the wrong people.
And she has kids too, right?
Yeah. But they're all with white men.
Okay. All right. Well, let's meet Melinda and see what's going on with her. Melinda, come on out. Welcome, Melinda, to the show. Hey, Melinda.
Hello.
Part Indian?
Yes.
Are you part black too?
Yeah, but I don't like to say so. If someone asks me what my heritage is, I will tell them that I'm Indian.
Why do you not like to say so?
I'm embarrassed to be as dark as I am.
You have never had a good experience with a black person in your life?
Never.
Wow.
Now, see, the people I hang out with nothing but blacks and Mexicans. And the people I hang out with ain't none of them like the way she talks about these black people. People I hang out with are good people.
Did you always feel like this about black people?
No, but most of them that I've known, like the women, will get on federal aid and support men who are out selling dope instead of being out working. They don't have any morals. They don't believe in themselves. They're uneducated and complain about it, but they don't put forth the effort to go out and do something about it.
Wow. Do you know when you look in the mirror that you are black as well? I mean, I know your mom is white.
Right.
But you know that makes half of you black.
I try not to think about it.
And did you ever try to look into any of your history or try to meet any people who are black, just to maybe find out a little more about the
You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
Shut it off and
Yeah, I mean, I made a point to my mother as I got older that, you know, she raised me in an all-white town. I mean, that's just how it was. And I told her, you know, I said, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who's black. I'd like to get to know that side of me. And she moved us to a town where there were black people. From about the time that I was 13
I've dated a girl
to this
that
day,
went through that.
Every experience that I've had with either a black male or
She was
a black
biracial,
female
just like her.
Bad.
do you think part of it has to do with maybe the fact that you just weren't brought up around too many black people and did you feel out of place or something?
It started out being that.
N-word a lot or something growing up or something? I mean, why?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
So you felt like you stood out.
Then you called her the N-word.
People made you feel uncomfortable about how you looked growing up?
I used to have to take my own set of paper towels to school to wipe things off the walls.
And you don't let your kids play with other black kids?
No.
Why is that?
I just don't want my kids to, go home with one of these kids and, be sitting playing Nintendo or something and their parents sitting on the couch smoking weed.
How many kids?
I've got 3. I've got one that's 9 months, a 2-year-old little girl, and I have a 3-year-old little boy.
So 9 months, 2 and 3, but they're gonna go home and hang out over somebody's house and smoking weed. Doesn't that seem? So are you saying that white people don't smoke weed?
Right.
No.
Right. Right.
You have it in every race, though. You have those bad apples. There's bad apples in every bunch. There's always bad apples.
That's true.
And you just hang around with a bunch of bad apples. That's all it is.
What are you gonna tell your kids? Are you not gonna make them aware of their heritage?
I don't want my kids to feel the way that I do. And maybe they'll be lucky enough they won't have bad experiences with black people.
Do you really realize that all black people are not bad? Any peoples are not bad. They're good and bad in every race. Do you realize that?
Well, yeah, I realize that, but I've stopped giving them a chance to prove that to me. After so many times, it's just
You went through some pretty major incidents.
Yeah, yeah.
You have been through a rape.
3.
More than one.
2 gang rapes and then another one. Yes.
I don't want to, make you uncomfortable. I'm just wondering how one gets into a situation like that twice, and then another incident.
By hanging around with the wrong crowd. Actually, no, my sister. Hanging around with my sister. She's biracial too, and she feels the opposite way that I do. She wants nothing to do with white people, and it was go run around the streets and sell dope with guys, and I felt like me being the older sister, it was my job to go and protect her, and it seemed like every time I went, and I got around those people.
Black men, I'm telling you, black women, I'm telling you, if you move out in an environment, the predominantly white environment, it's gonna be like this.
These things happen to me.
Okay. That's a little strange for me, but and nobody deserves to be raped. But that's really a degenerate behavior. And it happens across all races, unfortunately. And I hope you don't think by just not being around black people that's something that is just going to disappear.
Well, I haven't had another race do me that way.
We're going to talk about it a little more, but I know you wonder what Melinda's mom thinks about all this. Let's welcome Vanessa to the show and find out. Vanessa, how you doing?
Okay.
Now, does it break your heart that your daughter has basically abandoned part of her heritage?
No, I feel like she has a right to.
You feel like she has a right to? What makes you feel like that?
I'm the reason that she is biracial. And I brought them back to our whole southern hometown and moved to where there were no black people. So that, because all I was around was black people whenever these things were happening. And I thought if I kept them away from people that were doing those things, then they would be better.
I've been here for 3 hours. I saw discrimination on black people. A comment made where we were just having lunch, and we were treated differently because we were white. You know what? It was wrong. And I feel for you. I understand what you're going through, but you know what? It's not right. It's here. Black people do discriminate against whites. Whites do discriminate against blacks. We all have to learn to work together. And you know what? Keeping an attitude and saying things are wrong, got to make a change somewhere. Where do you start?
Where do you start? Where does it start? You say that black man got your daughter addicted to drugs.
Right.
How does a black man get your daughter addicted to drugs?
By them going to where they're at and being with them themselves.
What you say? By them? Your daughter's going to where they are?
Yeah.
Your daughter has to take responsibility for her own actions.
Right.
You don't blame. You don't blame.
Exactly.
And furthermore, you might not gotta see. This is where the racism gets all messed up because people use your own racial ideas against you. Are you trying to say that no white people do drugs? Are you trying to say that your daughter would never have been exposed to this kind of stuff? And are you trying to say that your daughters can't make decisions on their own?
They can, and then they got old enough that they made the decision. They wanted to be around. They wanted to know about their black heritage.
Let me tell you something, because don't insult me right now. My black heritage is not being a crackhead. It's not being a crack dealer.
Right.
So don't insult me right now. You need to remove that. See, your daughter's learning about their heritage. Don't tell me them going to see a drug deal on the corner and learning their heritage.
That's not why I moved them to a different town. I moved them to a different town.
Did you ever buy them some books? Did you ever show them that they have a good legacy as well? Did you show them that? You have? Because it sounds like all they see and all they think about is just the negative aspects of their race. And
I don't think I did much. I feel like
if you tell her half of you is wrong, half of you is bad.
I told her half of her was wrong.
If you pick her up and move her away from half of her because you think if you're just around this half of you, you'll be okay, that sends a message, Mom. It still sends a message. Maybe you didn't intend to do that, but it still sends a message. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to meet a black man who admits to abandoning the black race and says that white people are smarter and he can learn more from them. Wait till you hear what his mom has to say. Don't go away.
Ain't that stupid? I mean, I don't know what to say. And I gotta say, what black man was laying up with something that looked like that? I'm just saying. I mean, can you just? Oh my God! I'm trying. It's like, what was that black man thinking? And I mean, luckily, you know, like I said, I made a video and I showed a picture of before of the girl I dated in Corbin years ago, back in Corbin, Kentucky, and her mom was in complete denial that Corbin was racist, and I had white people tell me that it was a sundown town. Not only that the town was so small, they knew the person that they stayed next door to, who was her biracial daughter. The guy was downstairs was the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. He was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. And you know what they told me? Well, they don't know Sinead. She said, I wouldn't tell them I was black. I told them I was Greek. She told me that she was Greek. She wasn't part black. And I mean, it's like, come on now. In Corbin, Kentucky. And so, I shit you not, man. And I'm like, are you serious? But yeah, there's some people who are just, woo. But when the black conservative, they say, oh, well, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. It wasn't just casual sex. You see, the first video was she was in a relationship with that racist. And I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's like, if you racist, it's like, why would you go and get with the black man? Probably because no white man didn't want to lay up with her. So she went to the black man. Then she go back to the white town with two biracial daughters. You can't make this up. You knowing that they're racist as hell. You know, knowing that they're racist. You know, you just can't make this up. You can't. He's crazy. But you think this is something? Check this one out. This is about a biracial child. And the woman, they accidentally, the clinic put the wrong, she's a lesbian. So-called lesbians, I'm thinking that should be liberal, right? But no, she sued the clinic because the tube that she was black.
That is raising eyebrows An Ohio woman suing a sperm bank for medical malpractice. The reason, she became pregnant with sperm from a black donor. NBC's Katie Turner is here with more. Katie, good morning.
Good morning, Tamara. Jennifer Cramblett says it was a one-number mix-up that resulted in her biracial daughter. Now she wants the sperm bank involved to pay up. Jennifer Cramblett gave birth to her daughter Peyton 2 years ago.
We love her more to this day. She's made us the people that we are. Never traded for her.
Despite that love, Cramblett is suing the Midwest Sperm Bank in Downers Grove, Illinois, for medical malpractice. Cramblett says she thought she was being inseminated with a white man's sperm, so the baby would look like her partner, Amanda Zinkin.
Hence why we chose a blonde-haired, blue-eye individual.
According to the lawsuit, after Cramblett was pregnant, she found out she was mistakenly inseminated with an African-American man's sperm instead. All because court papers claim a worker mistakenly read donor number 330 instead of donor number 380.
It wasn't as though she was calling in September of 2011 ordering a pizza. She was calling and ordering donor sperm.
You cannot just say, oops, I'm sorry, be happy you got a child, and walk away from this.
Cramblett suing in part, she says, so she and her partner can move to a larger and more diverse community.
We just want her to have the ability to see different cultures and possibly feel welcomed.
In the lawsuit, she says that living in Uniontown, Ohio, even getting a haircut for Peyton is difficult. According to the lawsuit, she says she must travel to a black neighborhood far from where she lives, where she is obviously different in appearance and not overtly welcome. But she insists the suit is not about race.
I don't find any problems with having a mixed-race child as far as I'm concerned.
NBC
But why are you suing them?
The Midwest Sperm Bank, but they declined to comment. Their lawyer even hanging up on us. Cramblett and her partner provided these pictures of Peyton to NBC News and say they're not worried about what their daughter will think of the lawsuit when she grows up.
And she will understand that it wasn't about, we didn't want you, we wanted a white baby. That's not what it was about.
Well, we didn't want you, but we want a white baby.
Cramblett says while her family is loving, they don't fully understand her lifestyle as a lesbian. And she's worried about how they'll unconsciously treat her daughter, which is also why she wants to move. Now, she's suing the Midwest Sperm Bank for damages in excess of $50,000. Tamara?
All right, Katie, thank you very much. There are many layers here, but I am surprised that they write down the information and it's not in a computer, in a database. You're trusting a handwritten note on, who the donor is.
And not to get into the legalities here, but if there are people in that community making her and her daughter feel anything less than welcome, then shame on them. But to hear more about that, to find out.
Deciding to get pregnant is always a leap of faith, particularly when using a sperm donor. That's why the woman you're about to meet, Jennifer Cramblett, did so much research on the donor and chose the one that she believed would be just the right fit. Imagine her shock when she learned the sperm bank mixed up the sample and she was pregnant with a child of a different race.
All right, let's meet her now. Joining us exclusively is Jennifer Cramblett, the mother of now 2-year-old mixed-race girl, and Jennifer is joined by her attorney, Tim Mincy. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. First to you, Jennifer. So, Jennifer, I want you to explain to us what happened here. You and your partner, Amanda, you decide that you want to start a family, so you opt to use the services of a sperm bank. So how did you learn that the sperm that you were pregnant with was from a black man and not a white man as you had ordered?
Well, we actually, 5 months into the pregnancy, we had called to try to get some more vials for the second pregnancy for Amanda. And when I called to order that sperm and those vials, I asked them for 380, and they came back on the line and say, I do believe we've sent you donor number 330. Are you sure that's not what you asked for? And I obviously said no. My donor number is 330 or 380, and they came back on the line and said, well, unfortunately, I think we've aired up and sent you 330.
Did they tell you then that the sperm you had gotten was from a black man? How did you find out?
Once they did some, and my shock, just it being the different number that I wanted,
they said, hold on, let's go into your file, let's do a little bit more research. Came back on the line and then had asked me if I had requested an African American donor. And at that point I said no. 380 was blonde hair, blue eyed, something resembling my partner Amanda. And at that point they said, well, I do believe 330 is an African American donor, and basically we can no longer talk to you anymore. Wow.
And listen, I understand that someone has to take responsibility. That was a pretty egregious error, but I mean, you know, kids are born with all sorts of things that parents don't expect to do and to learn about, and that's kind of part of parenting. You know?
Right.
Do you disagree? I mean, and kids are picked on for a number of different things, and if she's loved at home, why does it matter? Yeah, why does it matter what, you know, what other people say? And then when she gets older, she may read about this, and how do you think she's going to feel about this later?
Yeah, you know, we were always going to have that conversation. If I was here right now with a lawsuit, she's going to know what she is and where she came from and how all this happened. So that conversation was going to be had no matter what. She's going to know that we love her unconditionally. Everybody around her loves her. So I think she's going to know why we did what we did. And the basis of the lawsuit and why we're doing what we're doing is so that somebody is held accountable. And this isn't going to happen to anybody else.
Speaking of that, so, how has the sperm bank responded? Timothy?
They haven't. When I called, found it out, they said, we can no longer talk to you, hang up, that's it. A few weeks later, I received a very small letter that said, we're sorry for the mix-up. Here is your refund of just the 6 files that we got wrong. Sorry about the mistake. And that was it. And nobody's reached out, and I think if that would have happened, first and foremost, even when that first conversation happened, if I got shown any bit of compassion and ownership of this mistake, then we may not be sitting here.
My company will literally work with you until you land your first.
Yeah, right. Let me tell you something. If it was too, I believe it was too. It would too. It's funny that if it was two lesbians that were black, I wanted what, and they had it, where they went on, where they did the same thing. But I don't know too much about the LGBT community. They don't care because they just love to love, and they will probably kind of push that to a side. But specifically, these two women wanted white Aryan babies, white, blue-eyed, blonde hair, just like the partner. And yes, it's something how something like that can happen. If that was the case, then go ahead and maybe adopt a child out and then go and get reseminated by another clinic. And this time make sure it comes out of blonde hair, blue-eyed child like their partner. Why did they just put up for adoption once she gets born? I mean, that was one situation. You see, even in the LGBT community, it even counts. Even what the racial makeup of the children count in the LGBT community. Now, every once in a while, you might get 2 males or two might adopt a little black boy, a little black girl, but most of them, even in the LGBT community, they want someone to look like them. But anyway, but yeah, it's just it's outrageous. You got the person that's, I'm gonna do a couple other videos, but outrageous how people don't even like their own skin color. And you part black, and like about the first of what's the second video? Why would you get with the black dude and lay up with a black man? Why didn't you just go? I mean, it's these questions I have, but lay down with knowing that she was gonna have a part biracial child. Then all of a sudden, you're gonna accept that they're gonna be racist, turn out to be racist. Please make this make sense. So, so the guy proved the point. You can have sex with somebody, and it can still be racist against your people. Which that don't make no damn sense. You racist against the people that you find disgusted with, that you found less human, but yet you lay down with them. And then you have black conservatives sit up there saying, well, if you can have a relationship, don't mean you can have this and have that. And I just backed up what the commentary just said, but I showed you a couple videos proving that, he's one of kind of conservatives that he's all the way. He could be marching right next to the Ku Klux Klan, and it don't even matter. He won't even understand. And that's what Oshay was basically saying. It's like, damn, man. Like, no, I don't think he's allegedly he's a white supremacist. He was just joking around that he was a racist. No, he said he was a racist. Man. I've been around some white people, but I have never got to I have to sample like that out. And like I said, I've dated and slept with white women, but I've never went to that extreme to be a Sambo. Some black people are just straight up Sambo. First of all, you should love the person for the person, and they should be the same way for you. But at least, like, damn, man. Some black people, I don't even call them the Uncle T word. They Sambos. Just straight up Sambos. And said, well, but that's the kind of fool would have probably been at the January 6th resurrection, when that surrection down there. Did you see them two black fools that got locked up in there? What all when these so-called radical Trump supporters? It's one thing if you have a disagreement about Trump. I understand you like a Trump, but ain't no way in the world, even if I was the only black man, and if I was a Trump lover, I ain't going down there and storming no doggone Capitol. But you got people like him probably would do something like that just to fit in and click and be right on board with y'all. American flag. Meanwhile, you got another group of dudes. Did you see the one part, the time when they brought out the freaking, it was like this gang, this lynching post with the rope hanging down. Talk about, they literally escorted this thing on wagons, and it was one of those, I don't know what they call one of those things, and they had the rope hanging down, saying that they're gonna lynch somebody. And that's why I said, and then you have black people, and then they was the one, you see the one big black cop, they call him the N-word. Meanwhile, you got black people, you got a few black knuckleheads trying to be with the surrections, and the other people be with the surrection who are screaming out racist terminology. If you ever watch that whole video, if it's somewhere online, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then one of the black dudes got about this not longer than the white dudes. They probably gave one of the longest sentences. He tried to do what they do. It don't work like that. I don't know what's wrong, because you Republican and you conservative, whatever, and you go down there and agree with your white buddies, and you think you're gonna come out with the same ending. Oh my goodness, that's what's funny about it. You get some people just, when someone said that they race, that don't include me. That must be include them blacks down there. No. You, that's your skin. Well, you part of that skin. That's you. That's part of you, right? Well, I don't think that I am. It don't touch that you think that you is. Because you get on some white person's nerve, that they gonna call you the N-word. like they do anybody else. You get to an argument with them like they ain't gonna call you the N-word. Some black people, some of these folks like that are goofy as hell, man. But all right, then I'm gonna see you on the next video. Till next time. You know, it's one thing, and hey, and I hope it don't mean that. And let me say this before I go. I know all black Republicans don't view stuff like this or the conservative, but come on, man. You don't sambo all the way, because when you get to the argument with your counterpart, he gonna call you the N-word just like he would call anybody. What it's the opposite of conservative, because you get into a heated disagreement, you the N-word. You just an uppity N-word. You know what I'm saying? So what difference does it make? You know, I'm neutral. I'm independent. I'm not, way for the left, way for the right. Because at the end of the day, I know. And like I said, I've lived in the city and I've been in the suburbs. I've been in majority of people's house that are white and they feel comfortable as hell letting you know what they saying. One will come out the plot and saying that N-word cut me off down on the street and said right dead right in front of your face. I have been in white people's house that said that. And it said, I've been in a white person's house that, oh, you dated a black, you dated a black boy, oh, what is wrong with you? And I'm supposed to be friends with this person. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm telling you. There's some people, but they in the closet racist. And then when you get behind their doors, they open up their racism too. And if you truly know what I'm talking about, some biracial people know what I'm talking about. Some of them have heard that stuff right in front of one of their white cousins and neighbors. Sit there and will get mad at a situation and have me a black person and call them the N-word, and they part of the doggone people that they call the N-word. So you gonna discriminate against the people. Well, I'm not that way. I'm white. Let me say I'm white. Yeah, you delusional. Shoot. I know I've been in people's presence, man. I've been in some people's presence that's why I call in the closet indirect racists. And they don't just blunt out until they get into a disagreement with somebody black. Then you hear the N-word come out. And it's not like the way we call each other the N-word among black people. When they say it's N-G-G-R and then some. And then some other adjectives. And that's the same kind of background that knucklehead her mother came from. At the end of the day, woo, you got some people out here, oh my God. But yeah, there's a couple other ones I'm going to kind of show a couple short clips and I'll give you some more commentary. Some people are just delusional, man. Just because you leave the hood, you think that you're going to avoid prejudice? And then that same if I take that same black person and took across the state and took you down into some parts of the South where it's sundown town, well, I'm not one of the black people. You black, you son of a gun. They don't give a damn you Republican or not. Especially with that white guy where he was at in Arkansas. Man, you got some black people that delusional, man. When they said, get your black behind out this town. This is white town only. You still got places like that. But you got some black conservative like this black dude. He'll be in denial. He'll side with the racists. Oh my goodness! And I don't know why they be calling this. Yeah, because you sound like a Sambo. That's why black people come at you like that. You say some stupid stuff like that. I had to show you the video. Anyway, woo! Hey, like I said, I've dated white women and other women. I have never, ever been that much of a, never got to, and been, even had white friends that never acted like that. I'm always balanced with my people. Black, no matter if I know 30 white people, I'm gonna stay balanced when it comes to my black people. And I thank God for that because I was raised in the city. And just because you move into a nice area, you got Negroes with sample like up and act like they until they get their ninja moment. Get into the wrong part of another white town, come across another white police officer, no matter how proper you think. It was a black man down there in Texas. He didn't like black women. So some guy, one of his buddies, we got in an argument. He broke up the fight. The cop that came and tried to break up, he went to go shake the cop hand because he loved them white women, and he thought he was gonna be buddy with good old Jonathan Price. Jonathan Price paid the price all right. That white hillbilly cop blew his brains out right there. Said he felt like he was, and the guy was, and his white friends were probably in shock because like he's not that type of dude. He's a black conservative. He just liked white women, and he was pro cop and everything. And he was a white cop that took him out. So much for that. So yeah, if I was a black conservative, think about what you're saying. All right then. Till next time. Take care.